Hello everyone, welcome to our 12th episode of Girls Tech Talk. And in this episode, we wanted to talk about Azure container instances, but keeping the set of actions which happened in last week with Microsoft. We wanted to talk about that, as that is something we should not be ignoring. So in the last week, few days, there was unavailability of Microsoft services where on Tuesday, some unavailability was there in some of the region, but the biggest one happened on Friday, where Microsoft Azure portal was down for like 2 long hours, as well as some of the services like Microsoft 365, OneDrive were unavailable intermittently. So as per Microsoft, there were around 77% user who faced full downtime of 2 hours for Azure portal, whereas 18% of the user faced login issues and 6% user faced server connection. As per Microsoft, they said that it is in their knowledge, they know what has happened and they're trying to mitigate it. And they fixed it in the 2 hours. They also have given the mitigation plan that they try to fix it with having load balancer and everything. But at the same time, when this unavailability happened, there was a notification in Telegram from activist Anonymous Sudan. They said they took the responsibility that they had done the DDoS attack in Microsoft due to some of the political reasons. So we are not going to talk about the political reasons or what was the motive behind this attack, but we are going to talk more about what this DDoS attack means and how any software can mitigate this. So DDoS attack is if you are into software industry or if you are from a computer science background, you must have been heard of denial of services. So denial of services is something whenever a user try to connect to any of the website or any of the application and it doesn't respond you back. So it's like when you try to log into your Instagram account or Facebook and it just doesn't respond, you are not able to log in or you are not able to see anything. So that's kind of denial of services. But that is more of a like old thing. Right now in today's situation, all the software, like all the applications are like highly scalable. So denial of the services is a quite rare thing, because when the number of loads increases, along with that, the scalability of the servers also increases. So in that situation, it comes like distributed denial of services. So what does hackers do is there is a thing called botnet. It's like a web of all malicious machines which they use, and this can be anything. It can be your mobile, it can be laptop, it can be any other server, or it can be any machine which is connected to internet. It can be IoT as well. So they put this malicious softwares in those system and then they bombard the request to this victim server. They bombard with such a scale that even that scalability which has been there in that victim server not able to take those that much load, and then they do this denial of services, like what you must have seen in yesterday. Like it is when you are trying to use Azure portal, it was not giving you the response. So that is something in terms of real-time knowledge. What does DDoS means? How hackers are doing this in current situation? But I would like Shrima to tell you more in terms of basic idea how this happens, in which layer and all, and what are the mitigation plans. So Shrima, up to you.
Thanks, Tara. Thanks for the session. So here we are talking about DDoS attack. So it's obviously the business is lost for 2 hours. So that means it's like and financial loss for customers and financial loss for the organization. So what it is all about? So as Tara has mentioned, like it's a distributed attack that the hacker or attacker is producing from many places. Could be hacking the systems, not only that person's system. It could be any user system, or it could be from the devices or that is connected to the network. They are using it and producing it. But what in terms of if we just say like what it is all about. So basically it's like if we parse the communication of the network channel, it actually follows 7 layers of transmission. So it starts from the application, and then presentation, and then data, and then we have the network, and then the physical layer. So hackers attacks each of the layer in different way. So in past, all the attacks that we have seen, so they have carried across, like, it could be in application, it could be in network, or network level. So what happens, in terms of, if we say, like, it's happened in the application level. So application is generally, if we are serving, it's an public facing application, like anyone is able to access that application. It's actually open to the internet. Then what's happened? They tried. It's very easy to create and get requests to that, or get doing an HTTP get call to that particular page. So you see that producing the client request is much more easy, like just an HTTP call. But however, the server where the actual application is hosted, it's very tough for them. It has to upload it, and it has to respond to that particular request. So by the time the server is busy on that, the hacker do not stop. It actually could start creating the automatic request again and again and again, and from different level, from different server, from different machine at a different scale. And then you might be thinking, then if I have a load balancer that can help. What if the load balancer is not able to support the request? Then both my actual server and load balancer server, both are in a none of them are able to solve the problem. As a legitimate request, they are not able to get any result because the server is busy, and the hacker is not stopping because we are not able to get any data. They are generating the request at a large scale. Because of that, this scenario is happening, and then we are referring it as an DDoS attack. And so how do we solve it? So basically it's, and how actually companies or organizations solve it when it happens. So basically organizations like, all the big organizations, they have a defined network strategy. They have a defined network protocol to secure their application, but still it is happening. Then how they solve it and how they fix it, how the system got ups. So there is something called, network watcher. So which actually checks the load. Like, hackers never says its identity or never says its location. So basically the network watcher group, or it's a kind of technology, I would say, which actually monitor all the requests that is coming to my server, from which region it is coming, or which certain time it is going, it's gaining, or which certain time it drops. It depends on, like, it actually checks the traffic and try to identify, and if possible, then it try to stop all those traffic. And if nothing works, then there is a brute force way, I would say. Sometimes a network network security group often approaches. It's like, all the request that is coming to my server, they route it to a black hole zone. So what happens, like, all the actual request and all the traffic request all goes and dies.
Mm-hmm.
So this way, the system actually able to respond. So if you see, like, the whole strategy, it's like how I would say, like, how they are thinking to attack that system, and how the system security is enforced to support it. So for example, it's a kind of real time, I would say, experience that we might have occurred. Like, few of the applications that when we try to log in, it helps us say, like, identify these pictures or identify all the crossover, all the cars. So it's actually try to understand I try to understand, like, whether it's coming from a bot channel or it's coming from an user. So these are kind of techniques that websites or the application they have adopted to get rid of that request. But as I said, like, as we are also improving, our service and solutions also improving, and the mind of an hacker is also improving. So it's like and cat and race game, I would say. We are all evolving. And by the way we are evolving, they are also evolving. So we have to be, it's not just mindset, like, security mindset. What are the things I need to do? How do I secure application? Where can the threat can occur? So it's a lot of designs and lot of decisions that has been taken to do that. Yeah, that's it for today. And Tara, if you would like to add few more points on this.
No, I guess that's all we wanted to discuss. So it's just that security is a very crucial part of software development. So always try to keep these security threats in your mind and then try to do the development that will secure your development work as well as the application. Yeah, that's all we wanted to discuss. See you in our next episode. Bye.